Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and today I've got a question for you. Have you ever had a big brain brewing idea that was so brilliant you wondered, why has anyone ever thought about this before? Well, that's what Big Brain Brews is about, and today we got a super spicy 5-color Moonmist deck that I was working on for a potential Against the Odds episode, but decided to try it for this new series instead. So let's jump right into the game, see our Big Brain Brew in action, and then after, we'll talk a little bit more about the deck. Before we do, a super quick reminder, if you need some cards for your Big Brain Brew, you can get them from our awesome sponsor, Card Kingdom, by heading over to cardkingdom.com/MTGGoldfish. Even get a free sticker. Just let them know you want one in your order notes and they'll hook you up. Anyway, let's do some Big Brain Brewing. All right, we are trying to figure out how many flipwalkers we might be able to flip at once with the help of Moonmist. And I mean, we're gonna keep this. Jacob's good. That's about all I can say about this hand, but Jacob can hopefully find us our Moonmist. This is a hand that would really like Ether Vial, but we don't have Ether Vial. See what our opponent's up to. Windswept Heath, go. I mean, if we hit a color fixing land like Cavern or something, things get better. Dragon's Ray Shanala. Well, crack this. I think we're just getting black. Taking over on Tomb. Tapped. And all right, opponent's got the bobble, gonna start surveilling. Sure. Mills a bobble and passes. Well, all right, play the land. Jacob pass the turn. So this can start looting for our Moonmist. Opponent's gonna crack the bobble, take a peek, and draws an extra card. The Jaren's one of the most powerful things we can flip. Like the Planeswalkers are good, but a 6/6 flying trample lifelink is also pretty decent. But all this needs a Moonmist. Arid Mesa. Opponent cracks it. Sure. Steam Vents untapped. And Soulscar Mage. Ooh, opponent's going super aggro. Lava Dart. Okay. Are they gonna flash it back and sack a land? Opponent turns on the Dragon Rage Channeler, goes attacking. Sure. Wow. All right. Well, opponent's all in. We're all in. Flashes back, goes to one land, mills some stuff, kills the Jacob, hits us for 3. We draw Verdant Catacombs. We won't play the land and a yeah, I guess we just play Jaren and pass the turn. Now, losing the Jacob is kind of a bummer. We did want that. We wanted the looting mostly. That's what we were really excited about. Opponent has a bolt. All right, sure. Well, opponent's got all the damage and whatnot. None of the lands, all the damage. We will block. Ether Vial. Well, we will play Verdant Catacombs. We will crack Verdant Catacombs. We're kind of running low on time, though. Play Ether Vial. Ether Vial's not as good off the top on turn. Wow, we were so close to actually flipping that. The life we lose from the Jaren actually is what ruins it. Flipping it the hard way. Liliana. Go. Opponent adapts. Rewarded for the greed with the land top deck. That's not great. Opponent. Free spells. Scrows the dorks. And Monastery Swift Spear and a Dragon Rage Channel. All right, so opponent's just got all the 1-drops in the entire world. And I'm not sure how we stop this horde of Dragon Rage Channeler beatdowns. Well, take up the Vial. More. Very traditional Ether Vial there. I mean, that is the drawback. You get power with the Ether Vial, but the drawback is that it's not a great top deck. All right, how are we gonna do this? Yeah, I mean, Kytheon gets sniped too. Wow, these are gonna be bad Cocos. All right, we're gonna go down to 3 Cocos with 21 creatures. Don't try this at home. That is not enough creatures for Coco to actually work. All right, we get to play first. Well, we're gonna keep. We're not especially close to casting Moonmist yet. We are going to need to draw land, but sand is interesting. We can Chalice on 1, which should slow down our opponent a bit. Soulscar Mage. Like we saw, their deck is a lot of 1-drops. Now take up the Vial. All right, that's the mana we need. Verdant Catacombs. Crack Verdant Catacombs. Get a Forest. Chalice on 1. Okay, things might be coming together. So we Chalice on 1. Slow our opponent down. Pass the turn. We got a Jacob and a Jaren. We can potentially Vial them in and Moonmist them. Okay. Opponent goes to combat. Gonna hit us. Worried about Manamorphose into Stormwing. That would be the blowout. Opponent passes. Well, Vial going up. Windswept Heath, keep thinning the deck. Actually, we could just cast Jaren. Yeah, let's do it. This does mean we have to shock ourselves. Taking Overgrown Tomb, untapped. Jaren. So, flippable human part 1. Actually, wait, do we just get to flip this the old-fashioned way? I think we do. Well, sorry, Moonmist. Oh no. Wait, why didn't it trigger? Oh no, it's when it dies. Oh, I'm an idiot. Well, that's fine. It doesn't really matter. We should have done this end step technically, but it doesn't really make a difference. Opponent's gonna go attacking. We will chump with the dork. We untap. Vial. Gonna go up to 3. I think this is gonna happen. Another Jacob. So, loot with Jacob. Step 1. Get rid of the land. No, we will not pay. Cavern of Souls. On human. Go to combat. Hit ya. The surprise is coming. And, yeah, pass the turn. Opponent cracks. So we can flip at instant speed. It's happening. This is only 2. So this isn't like the biggest blowout in the world, but it's not bad. Stacks the Islet. All right, you know what? This is good enough. Opponent's tapped down. We're just going to do it. Moonmist. Flip him. Flip him. All right. 6/6 flying trample lifelink. Sack a creature, draw a card. Hoken's Insight has been achieved. Opponent. We're in really good shape either way. Like, now that we got this Ormondal and this Chalice, we're in a pretty good spot. Opponent cracks the bobble, takes peek. I mean, the Chalice is doing a lot of work here. Okay, well, I think we can do better than that, but that was pretty good. 2 is pretty good. Opponent gets in, hits us. Sure, down to 12. But how do you stop an Ormondal? All right, so Vial. Opponent gets to draw with bobble. Uh-oh, cracks. Sure, Vial staying on 3. 3, I think, is mostly the best number. What do we find with Hoken's Insight? I wonder what our opponent's thinking. Moonmist. Well, we will go to combat. Smack ya for 6. Gain 6. Opponent goes to 10. Jacob part 2. And Misty Rainforest, go. Opponent untaps. This is happening. It actually kind of worked. All right, expensive iteration. I mean, opponent's drawing cards, but I don't know how they win from here. Like, the problem they have is so many of their things are 1 mana. This Chalice is just really wrecking them. This isn't the matchup that we're playing Chalice, and opponent scoops it up. Okay. That was not the biggest Moonmist possible. That was only 2. I'd like to get more than that, but that was still pretty good. That was not bad. You know what? Let's go back up at Jace and go down to Coco. The Cocos are just really, really weak with that amount of creatures. Well, okay. At least we know that Moonmist is not bugged on Moto with these cards. I was a little worried when I built this deck that there was going to be a bug, because it's kind of weird how this works. All right. I mean, hopefully we draw a fetch land to get white mana, but we got the Chalice, and someday we could get to Sanctifier. Opponent. The only downside is we are on the draw here, which means our opponent can get off to a pretty fast start before we play Chalice. Okay. Dragon Rage Channeler Bobble. And passes. Fetch land, maybe? Unclaimed Territory. Play it on human. And Kytheon. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. Did not crack the bobble, interestingly. All right, opponent's gonna Lavadar. I mean, we're hoping to just slam this Chalice again and kind of do what we did last game. Okay, mills a Vapor Snake. We still need to draw a white source at some point, a real white source. Hits us with a Dragon Rage Channeler. Down to 19. Cracks the bobble. Ooh, passes, okay. Well, not a white source, but we are going to Chalice on 1. This does mean our path is offline, which is awkward. All right, opponent hits their land. Cracks the Bloodstained Mire. Steam Vents, untapped, and... All right, so opponent has a plan for the Chalice in Shattering Spree. Replicate gets around the Chalice. Well, okay. That also makes a Dragon Rage Channeler huge, which is a problem. Opponent gets and hits us. Well, I guess it turns on our path if we ever draw fetch land. Down to 16. Golly gee. Overgrown Tomb, go. Opponent gets to go off. Monastery Swiftsphere. And a Mountain. And a Mishra's Bobble. Oh, that's so much damage. We needed this Sanctifier. The Sanctifier would have made things better. You know, it really would have made... Oh, boy. Well, that's a downside of playing a 5-color deck. Is you don't always get to cast all your spells. Opponent hits us for 5. A lot of damage. Down to 11. The opponent draws an extra card. Well, there's a fetch land. Unfortunately, it is pretty late to the party. This hurts. I think this is what we got to do, though. Verdant Catacombs, Temple Garden, untapped. Down to 8. Sanctifier and Vec. Would have been a lot better earlier. But Sanctifier exiles some stuff, turns off the Dragon Rage Channeler, and gives us a blocker. Does not stop us from just getting burnt out by our opponent's deck, though. Monastery Swiftspear. Land. 1 card in hand opponent. No attacks. Okay. Well, how do we do this? So there's a Jace. We have the Coco. Opponent has a lot of creatures, even if they're not good. You know, we're going to play Breeding Pool untapped. Pass the turn, leave up the path, leave up the Collected Company, which scares me, and we might be getting 1 creature, but I think this is our best bet. Opponent untaps, 2 cards in hand. Goes to combat. No attacks. Well, 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Coco. Wow. Okay. One of our opponent's 2 cards was a Spell Pierce. Not ideal. Leaves the card on top. Well, we are going to path the Dragon Rage Channeler. Wow. Whatever our opponent has on top of their deck must be the greatest card in the history of Magic. Because our opponent is again choosing to not get the land. Well, 1, 2, Sanctifier and Vec. Number 2. 1, 2. Jace Friend's Prodigy. Go. Stay on defense, so we got blockers. Opponent. Okay, braids the Jace. Sure. Passes. Play Jacob. Our random flipwalkers are kind of staying alive against a really aggressive deck that is very scary. Okay, Liliana. So we want to play Jacob first because if another creature dies in, Liliana flips. And no attacks. All right, opponent, don't burn us out. Untaps. 2 cards in hand. 1 is a land. Opponent. Come on, Moonmist. Come on, Moonmist. Cavern. Well, Jacob. I'll get rid of Windswept Teeth. Not gonna pay. Pass the turn. I mean, flipping Jacob right here isn't even very beneficial. All right, opponent untaps. Another land, okay. And who draws a real card first? I mean, we do have Jacob to help. Oh my god, another land. Well, this time we're gonna play the land because we are not above flipping Jacob naturally. Jaren. All right, well, exile Jaren. Flip Jacob. Play Jaren. Go to combat. Attack with Liliana. Okay, gain back some life. Go to 7. Are we in this? Are we in this? Opponent. Another land. Oh my god, we're in it. We're in it. We're in it. The Flipwalkers. Where's our Moonmist? Where's our Moonmist? Come on. Come on, Hookin's Insight. Show us that Moonmist. Exiles. Prismatic Ending. Not the best. Well, go to combat. Attack. Oddly, we can't use Jaren to give this lifelink because they have protection, but we'll get him with the Liliana. Opponent cracks. I mean, we're just trying to gain back life, essentially. Opponent takes it. All right, we're back up to 9, which is good. We will play Jace Friend's Prodigy. We'll pass the turn. Sometime our opponent's going to draw a real card. We can't just trust on them flooding forever. All right, Bobble's semi-real. Oh, Moonmist. Moonmist would be sweet. 1, 2, 3. Oh, and we got the Hookin's Insight to dig for. I mean, the Prismatic Ending wasn't the best hit, but we got a shot. We got a shot. Cracks it. Peaks. Come on, Moonmist. All right, we get an extra draw. Opponent gets an extra draw. Moonmist. Kytheon in a swamp. Well, loot with Jace. Oh, there it is. Discard the Cavern. Jace flips. Jace. Oh, we're going all the way, right? We got to go all the way. Jace for Collected Company. Jacob Sanctifier. So not a great hit, but okay. And then Swamp. Kytheon. Moonmist. Flip them all. Keep the old one. Go to combat. Do a little attack. Oh no.
I've made a huge mistake.
Oh no. What happened to all of our... Does this not work? Did we just build an entire deck that doesn't work? Maybe. What happened? Apparently this doesn't... Oh no. Is this punt.deck? This entire deck doesn't work? I mean, play a Chandra, I guess. Kill attacking. Well, this weekend against odds, we learned that The flipwalkers do not interact with Moonmist the way we were hoping. Huh. All right. Well, PSA, I guess you probably shouldn't build this deck because because it doesn't actually work. It's not 100% intuitive, but well, today we learned. Today we learned. Oh, sometimes when you have a super big brain deck building idea and you wonder, why has anyone ever done this before? The answer is other people actually have thought of it. They're just maybe smarter than you and realize that the idea doesn't actually work. And I think that's exactly what happened with our 5-color Moonmist Flipwalker deck. So what actually went wrong with this deck? Why did all of our Flipwalkers just end up going to the graveyard when we cast our Moonmist? And the answer is Moonmist did exactly what it was supposed to do. This wasn't a moto bug or anything like that. We cast Moonmist. It transformed all of our Flipwalkers, but they all had 0 loyalty and went to the graveyard. So the way Planeswalkers work is they enter the battlefield with so much loyalty, the number in the bottom right-hand corner, and if they ever have 0 loyalty, they immediately go to the graveyard, to state-based actions, I think it's called. So that's how Planeswalkers work. How Moonmist works is it just flips cards from their front side to the back side. It transforms them. Transforming doesn't actually cause the card to leave the battlefield. It's not going to trigger enter the battlefield abilities or anything like that. So essentially what happened, and you couldn't really see this because it happened so quickly, all in a split second on Moto, is we cast Moonmist, all of our Flipwalkers transformed to their Planeswalker side, but they all had 0 loyalty because they were already on the battlefield as creatures, so they just immediately went to the graveyard, and that was the end of all of our Planeswalkers. If you actually read the Flipwalkers closely, you'll notice that each and every one of them, unlike every other transform card, which just flips back and forth, they all exile themselves and then return to the battlefield transform. Like Kytheon, for example, if you attack with it and at least 2 other creatures at the end of combat, you exile it, return it to the battlefield transformed. Every one of these Flipwalkers is worded that way, and that is specifically so they'll come into play with loyalty and work under the Magic rules. Like, if you didn't have that exile text, and Kytheon was just like, hey, at the end of combat, if I attack with some stuff, flip me, the same exact thing that happened with Moonmist would happen to all of these cards. So that's essentially what I overlooked building this deck, is you need the Planeswalker somehow to be entering the battlefield to get that loyalty. So the deck did what it was supposed to do. The problem is all of our Planeswalkers that we flipped into had 0 loyalty and immediately died. So that is one of the biggest brained and biggest deck building punts I think I've probably ever made. I thought this deck was going to be so sweet. If there's good news, the deck might actually still have potential, because remember that match where we accidentally killed all of our Planeswalkers with Moonmist by trying to transform them? We actually won that against a tough matchup against a really strong Izzet aggro deck. Somehow our deck was actually doing so well that we were able to like 1,000,000 for 1 ourselves and kill all of our Flipwalkers by accident with Moonmist, and we still won the game because flipping into an Ormondal is kind of insane. Flipping into Hugin's Insight is kind of insane. So even though this deck definitely should not be built around Flipwalkers, and that does mean there's not as many humans to transform, like outside of the cards that we're playing in this deck, most of the, I think all the transform cards actually are just kind of typical transform. Like you flip into a slightly better creature, which isn't that exciting to build a deck around. But I think that maybe the power of Jacob and Jaren, maybe you can still make this concept work, because something like, I don't know, Vial or Coco a Jaren into play and then immediately flip it into a 6/6 Flying Treble like Link with card advantage, or like Vial a Jacob into play on turn 2 and immediately Moonmist it into Hugin's Insight that's going to be really hard for a lot of decks to kill. Maybe that's actually good enough to still have the deck be a thing, even though the Flipwalker plan with Moonmist, definitely not worth it. So anyway, that is perhaps my biggest deck building punt of all time. I wasn't sure what I was going to do with this video, honestly. I built this deck. I was planning on using it for Against the Odds. I recorded, this was the one match I recorded with the deck. It was the very first match. I was actually like super excited. I was like, oh my goodness, this deck's going to be so sweet. It's actually working. What a great episode. Only to find out that it didn't work. So I figured might as well post it anyway, because it was, at least it was pretty funny. So that's been our special super big brain deck building punt edition of Against the Odds. Thanks for watching, everyone. And let me know, have you ever had a awesome brew idea only to find out later once you start playing the deck that it doesn't actually work under the rules? Some combos, some synergy, like trying to Moonmist a bunch of Flipwalkers? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you soon.
Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, help us out by clicking that like button down below. And to keep up on all the latest and greatest, click that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell icon to get alerts whenever we have new videos. And if you want to, check out some of our other sweet videos here and here.